Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything, the channel that tries anything and brings out anything to you in the shape of a review. Today we are here to have a look at a mechanical keyboard, well, our first mechanical keyboard, and this is one that we bought off eBay for the princely sum of only just £14. As it's such a small amount of money, we thought we would do a review of this keyboard, see if it's any good for that price tag of £14, which included shipping as well. Though, please bear in mind that unfortunately, as we don't have any other mechanical keyboards to test this against, we're going to go in a bit blind here and only feature our experience of using it and just some of the features of the actual keyboard itself. Right then, what we have here is the i-500 mechanical, and I'll say this in quotation marks, gaming keyboard from Eastern Times. I have actually seen this actual keyboard listed under many other names, but the one that we've got here is the actual Eastern Times i500 keyboard with backlit feature. As you can see here, we've already unboxed the keyboard for speed, and as there wasn't much else in the box, other than I believe there was a key picker at the time, which again for the £14, you know, it was an added extra. We just thought we'd get on with the review as opposed to doing the unboxing and all that. On inspection of getting the keyboard out of the box, it has a very nice kind of quality, weighty feel to it. The plastic base has has very kind of little give in it. It does feel quite a nice product to kind of hold. The quality of the plastics is there, and I believe if I can have a look under the switches here. No, I thought they'd be metal plated, but they are plastic plated. But we'll have a look at them switches in a bit. On the reverse part of this actual plastic base that it's got, which is a quality plastic base, what you do get is two extending legs, both of which have a rubber foot to them, so they shouldn't move. As you can see here, on the other side, it's got that rubber feet. On the base of the actual, on the front part of the base of the actual mechanical keyboard, you've also got two static rubber feet here. And interestingly, as I kind of move across the keyboard, you have three holes. Now, from reading about this keyboard, the actual idea of the holes is that if you do spill any kind of drinks in this keyboard, it kind of will go through these holes and onto the whatever's around it. So you can it's like a drip feature. But as it's a keyboard that we do use here at We Try Anything, it's something we haven't really tried. Sorry about the crumbs. Now this keyboard here is the 87 key non-numeric pad variant. I don't think they do an actual other version, but this is the one which has the less keys on it, no numeric pad here, which normally does accompany a full-size keyboard. But the beauty of having this keyboard as well is that if you kind of restricted on desk space, you do have that added mouse area, and also the other thing as well, as we're not really accountants, it's just all we need really. But as you can see here, you've got all your function keys running along the top. You have your caps lock highlighted there. I'm not actually too sure what that's referring to, so if anyone can kind of comment below. Oh no, sorry, I've just worked it out. It's scroll lock. So there you go. You got your scroll lock and caps lock light there to say that they're actually lit up, or sorry, they're being used. Now, talking the actual kind of typing and stuff, I mean, the actual actuation of the keys does have some nice, pleasurable and kind of very tactile feel to it. In terms of typing, as you can see here, it has got a very nice clicking action, which really does give it a kind of a responsive feel to it. And especially the way the keys are kind of laid out and stuff, they're not too close together. And so, typing, it does what a keyboard should. And in terms of gaming, I mean, I've used it on games like Elite Dangerous and stuff, and I've had absolutely no problem with it. And as I said, the kind of sound and feel of the keyboard, it is class. The keys are kind of a matte feel to them. And I find the actual keyboard very easy to read, very easy to use, and if I zoom in a touch now, you can see the kind of font that's used on the keyboard. And again, I'll go on about the actual clicking nature of the keyboard. It's very good. The only thing I will say about the noise of it is that if you are in a living room and you've got the PC in the living room as well, and you're trying to watch TV and someone else is using the computer, as it were, there is quite a noisy element to it, especially if you've got someone who's fast typing or someone's very frantically gaming as such. it will be a bit off-putting. I've grown used to it because obviously the keys that I tend to use are these, and the keys that my sons tend to use are them kind of keys there. But if they were doing any kind of typing up of projects, or if I was doing any kind of typing in Word or InDesign or anything, it would become a bit of an issue, especially for the other people who are watching the TV in the same room. So I'd bear that in mind. I mean, if it was in a bedroom and you're using it for gaming and such, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, for the price point, I don't expect everything to be featured within this keyboard, and one of the missing or omitted items of this keyboard is, unfortunately, there's no USB pass-through. So if you wanted to kind of power any other items using this kind of keyboard setup, and you don't have, much in the way of USB connectors, then you're going to find this a bit of an issue. But the way I look at it, I mean, I've got a backlit keyboard here, which is quality for £14, including shipping. And at that point, I just can't stress how good a value this keyboard is. As you can see here, I've just done a kind of a detail shot of the keyboard, and I just want to show you how fairly easy it is to get these keys off. And as you can see here, they're just exposing the MX Blue type switch gear underneath it for the actuations. And as you can see there, it's got a kind of a plastic backing to it, which isn't unfortunately metal, which some people would prefer. But as you can see there, there's quite some travel within these keys. And then just to pop them back on, it is fairly easy to do, as you can see there. Right, as you can see here, this is the keyboard in situ, where it normally sits next to the PC. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to plug the USB cable into the port, and then you can see the actual keyboard boot up. So there you go, there it is booted up and ready to rock and roll. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you the change of the brightness. So if I press the function key here, and as you can see, it's either off or you can have it as bright as you want. Now the actual modes that I've seen is that if you press function key and insert, you get, like, for example, the last key pressed mode. So as you can see here, it's just showing you the they're doing like the after effects of the key that I'm pressing here. Again, if I press function, the next one is a kind of a nice pulsing effect to the actual keyboard. Again, if I press function insert, it's got them kind of gamer keys where you've got the WASD for the movements of the character on the game, and it doesn't highlight the space interestingly or enter, but you do have the keys there. Again, if I press function again, you have that kind of rippling, like left to right or central motion going on there. Let me just press function again, and then you got this kind of effects which you had, which was the boot up scenario. Another one where you got a kind of a ripple effect going from left to right. And here you go, which showing you it's quite a dynamic part. The key, the keyboard mode here is showing you actually what would happen, as you press the keys, which is really, it's really dynamic. But I would imagine if you start typing, it can be a bit off-putting. And then if you go that, it's back to as it was. So as you can see, for the £13, £14 that I paid on eBay. For the light effects, for the RGB backlit effects, it's really good. Overall, do we think that this keyboard is any good for the £14 price point that we paid off eBay? We would say a resounding thumbs up, Tony, yes. We can hardly say that for the money that we paid, and if it is kind of your first kind of gaming keyboard or mechanical keyboard, this keyboard has been phenomenal, and for the price point you just can't lose out really, because if it's something that you don't like, you can always have it as a spare and obviously buy a more expensive keyboard. But we personally think that you'll be using this for quite a while. Well, thank you very much for watching this review. We hope that you liked it. Smash the like button if you did like this review, and please subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more reviews from We Try Anything.